Yo, I'm Brendan. You're probably killing your investments by committing one of the 8 cardinal sins of investing. Most people do at least one of these things, so you're in good company, but you need to not be killing your investments. The number one way that you're killing your investments is not diversifying your portfolio. You're out here cherry picking stocks based on what people say around you. Oh, Tesla's really cool. Look at what Nvidia did with the AI chips. Bitcoin's going to the moon. Let's go chase after that. But the problem is, whenever you're not diversified, anytime any one of those 5 or 10 stocks that you've cherry picked go down, you're sunk because a huge proportion of your overall money that you have invested is sunk into these few little companies. Warren Buffett and the late Charlie Munger say that one of the best ways to get wealthy when it comes to investing is to not lose money. Rule number 1, don't lose money. And when we're diversified, we're much less likely to lose money. Number 2, investing without a plan will kill your investments. We can't will ourselves into making more money in the stock market. We can't just go into it and say, I'm gonna go get more money today instead of less money. That's really good. How much can I make? What's the biggest gamble I can take to make as much money as possible? We've got to have a long-term plan. We've got to think about this in terms of decades, not days. The most important thing to remember whenever we're investing is to invest as much money as possible as early as possible. It's not so much about the exact strategy and what option you're going to trade and are your covered calls going to come through and all the craziness of picking stocks and choosing something that you think is going to be a winner today. That's not the way we get rich. Morgan Housel talks about this in The Psychology of Money. A lot of the battle is just staying in the fight. It's about not losing. Just like rule number 1, don't lose money, we've got to stay in the fight long enough to potentially realize the benefits of compound interest. Cardinal sin number 3 is emotional investing. It's panic selling. It's seeing something like your Nvidia shares that were up 85% in the last month suddenly go down by 100% and freaking out and selling. Guys, when we do this, we're just locking in our losses. This is the typical misguided human psychology. We say, oh look, that stock is going up. I'd better jump on that train. And we run and we jump on just in time for it to go down. And we go, oh no, I better get off this train because now it's going down. Because we've missed most of the appreciation. We've only caught the train on its downward swing. And then we get out in time just to lose money. This is the problem with emotional investing. This is the problem with panic buying, panic selling, chasing trends. We've got to ignore the trends. We've got to have a plan long term to invest as much as possible, as early as possible, and forget everything else. Cardinal sin number 4 is failing to understand the risk. I see a lot of stuff online, a lot of young people out here doing some crazy stuff, trading on margin, trading options, buying a lot of crypto. Crypto is up really high right now. It's March 2024. It's a great time to have been a crypto investor already. And I kind of relate this to the real estate professional mindset. A lot of guys in real estate only see the upside. They only see the potential of what could happen if things keep happening good for them, where they're completely understating the risk. What if you're leveraged 140% to get there? What if in your investing, you're also leveraged in terms of margin? Whenever we're investing, we've got to understand that the risk that we're taking to make a really big gain has the potential of the exact opposite happening and being a really big loss. Number 5, neglecting to adjust your portfolio over time is a cardinal sin. Think about whenever you're 19. You've got a bigger risk tolerance in life. You're probably willing to go snowboarding and jump off of that roof into the pool and do all kinds of crazy stuff. But when you're 55, you're not going to do that stuff anymore. The same thing comes with our investing strategy. Whenever we get older, we typically want to take less risk because we have less time to weather a bad market and come back out of it. I'm about to be 37 and I've already decided not to jump off roofs or do skimboarding or crazy stuff like that anymore. I still invest aggressively because I should have a long time frame of life ahead of me, but I'm not going to take the kind of risks that I'd be willing to take when I was 20. Cardinal sin number 6 is something that a lot more people do, and a lot more people are confident in their choice to do this, even though it's still a cardinal sin. They don't realize how bad it is. That's not taking into account fees and taxes. Guys, it's 2024. Investing is not that hard anymore. Compared to what it was 20, 30, 40 years ago, it has never been simpler. It has never been easier to get into, to find good information, and to make good choices. And yet, even in the age of technological advancement, we still pay people obscene amounts of money to manage our money for us, to make investing decisions for us. They're stealing away our returns. We're talking about tens of thousands of dollars over the course of your lifetime, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of a long investing lifespan that you're paying to an investment manager. If you're paying them a high fee for something like 40 years, I want to say it's something like 40% of your overall returns are gone. They take them. If they've got something like a 2% of asset under management fee, you are getting absolutely hosed. You have got to take over your own investments, do it yourself, and do it the right way. And also, taxes are tricky. You think day trading is cool, but when you've got those short-term capital gains coming your way, whenever the IRS sends you a statement, that's not a lot of fun. So even if you've got high profits or what you think is going to be a high profit, just remember that that tax bill is coming. Short-term capital gains are not favorable like long-term capital gains are. Number 7 is going to piss a lot of people off, and that's investing in something you don't understand. I'm going to lay it out there right now and say the vast majority of people who are investing in crypto do not invest in something they understand. Even if we have kind of a conceptual understanding of what crypto is in general, of what Bitcoin could be, of what Ethereum or any of these other coins could be in theory someday if it's required to use them, or the potential that I think could be real, that there's a smart contract integration into the products that we buy. What if your car has a smart contract, or you buy some Taylor Swift NFT that gets you into all of her concerts for the rest of all time, or some other cool benefits like that that we can program into things? I think the potential is there, but that doesn't mean that we're there now. I think you can invest in whatever you want. I'm not here to tell you what to invest in or what not to invest in, but I think a lot of us skip over the potential for this being basically a tulip crisis, and we treat it like it's this gold rush. We treat it like, hey, crypto is this guaranteed thing that's going to go way up. Yeah, there might be a little bit of risk, but by and large, as long as you hold out, then it's going to go way up. We're all going to be super rich. This is what we're betting our life savings on. If you're not familiar with that tulip reference, it's about this Dutch tulip market bubble that feels to me a lot like a crypto bubble or any other kind of speculative investment. People get hot about something because all of a sudden something gets really rare and valuable. We better snap it all up. Basically, in the mid-1600s, tulips were really valuable in Holland, and people speculated over and over and more to these extreme levels, these crazy peaks where people thought, oh my gosh, tulips are the thing we've got to pour all of our money into. And for a time, while those tulips were hot and they were the in vogue thing, while people believed they were valuable, I mean, they had real value. You could trade tulips and buy a house. They were that valuable, just like crypto is today. And no, the value of the tulip itself doesn't have intrinsic value, but to other people, it was valuable. And that feels a lot like crypto to me. Yeah, having a digital wallet with some numbers on it isn't inherently valuable, like having a house or clothes or food or whatever. But the point is that other people think it's valuable. And so yeah, right now, there is real attributable dollar value to it. But in the 1600s, in 1637, the tulip bubble burst and people said, look, we can't pay this agreed upon price for these bulbs. The whole market fell apart. It was devastating for the whole economy, and that massive sell-off just destroyed a ton of people's lives. And people do it all the time. We did it with Beanie Babies in like the 90s and 2000s. We've done it with baseball cards, with NFTs. Just because something is hot and people attribute value to it, it doesn't mean we understand whether or not it's a good investment long term. The eighth and final cardinal sin is forgetting to invest money that you deposit into an account. This is one of those sneaky things that people just forget is a reality, that they go, well, I've been sending money into my 401k. What's the problem? There's a real chance that your money is in like this holding account, that it's sitting there in this waiting room of sorts, waiting to be invested because you may have never picked an investment to actually put it into. A lot of investing companies are set up this way, where you've got to put money into a holding account first before it's invested. And so if you're not absolutely 100% positive that you have chosen investments and you know what you're investing in right now, you've got to log into your account and verify that you're actually investing this money, that it's not just sitting there getting 2% interest because it's in a glorified savings account. This happens to people all the time. So make sure you're not one of them. Don't take my word for it. If you want a great resource on how to manage your money well, on how to invest well, on how to preserve your capital instead of doing all these risky, ridiculous things that are killing your investments, check out this book by Morgan Housel. I've got it linked below the like button. Otherwise, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in this video next. Bye.